Well, hello, everybody. I'm here with Colleen.
Hello.
And what we're going to do today is we are actually going to do a session. So we did this last year at the beginning of the year, and Colleen did a session for me. And we just really loved how it turned out, how helpful it was for myself and for others, actually. And so we decided, well, it's the beginning of the year again. Why don't we go ahead and do another one? So that's what we're here for today. And I think this time I'm going to be the practitioner and Colleen's going to be the client.
Yay.
Anything you wanted to add, Colleen, or no?
Well, just that it's a Reiki session and an example. Were you going to talk about
Go ahead.
that it's an example?
Go ahead.
So anyway, it is an example of doing a Reiki session using the Spirit Reveal technique that we teach in our Next Step Level 2 class. And the Next Step courses, the 3 1-year courses, 3 years total, are designed to train you how to use Reiki energy, use Reiki journey techniques, and then also the Spirit Reveal technique that and channel a Reiki session. Now, you don't have to use these skills when you learn them because they both make changes for you as a practitioner and your practitioner skills, but they also bring new awareness into yourself, about yourself, because they give you access to your higher consciousness. This is one way that we're utilizing it, and Robyn will be doing the session today. And sometimes the channeling can be, one word, and sometimes there's a lot that comes through to be spoken out loud, which is what we teach in level 3. Again, I want to clarify that the training is beneficial for you, even if you're not going to be a practitioner using these techniques this way, because it takes you deeper into yourself and expands your awareness about, well, to me, I guess I live in a pretty expanded reality. So anyway, go ahead, Robyn.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I agree. First and foremost, it's all for ourselves. And then if we want to use them as practitioners, even if you're not a professional practitioner, they are really expansive skills to have. So the format in which we are going to do this is we are going to start with an invocation. Colleen and I have had a very busy day. And so what that's going to do is going to bring us together as client and practitioner, also really bring in the Reiki energy and set our intentions somewhat for the session. Then we're going to do the interview where we talk about Colleen's intentions for the session, and then we will go into the full kind of Reiki portion, channeling portion of the session. So we kind of include all 3 parts into how we describe our Reiki session. The whole thing is a part of the full session, but it is kind of divided up into 3 parts. So, I've already done some of my own personal preparations before the session where I have, drawn my symbols onto my palms, put them in the space around me. So I've done that level of preparation. The invocation is just really to kind of set the container for the session that we're about to do. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Go ahead and close your eyes. And take some deep breaths. And allow the Reiki energy to surround you. Receive. Open your heart and receive. And as you breathe in the light of Reiki, and allow the light of Reiki, receive the light of Reiki. Allow it to fill you up. And on the out breath, let go of any busyness, anything that there is to think about, and allow this to be for you and about you. Give yourself permission to be in this space, receiving Reiki, letting go of what no longer serves you, and bringing in that revealed self, that empowered self. The light of Reiki fills the space that you're in, lifting any of the density and filling it with enlightened energy, universal energy, life force, and vitality. And that fills you as well. We call in the enlightened ones as they stand in a circle around you, as they fill your house and lift any energy trails that need to be lifted. And at the corners of the land, shining their light into the light and onto you. The archangels, the angels, the ascended masters, the brothers and sisters in the light, all here, shining their love, shining their light onto you and within you. The Reiki energy flows down through the top of your head, filling your entire body, your entire being, each chakra, filling your life force and your light force, and also filling the colors of creation within you and all around you. The red and the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, and the indigo and the violet. Fill your whole body, fill your breath down from your soul star and into your earth star. The light of Reiki empowering each of your cells, each of your all of your systems, your spirit, your heart, your mind, your body. And the light of the earth, of the divine earth, flowing up through your earth star and through your feet and into your body, and her colors of creation, colors of light, all within you, the vibrancy and the empowerment. And it fills your heart light, and your heart light shines. And it fills your lungs, the pure oxygen and the light of creation. And the cycles and the rhythms and the seasons of the earth are all within you and all around you, and even further out into the planets and the cycles of the moon the solar system and the galaxy. And we call in the symbols and the energy of Reiki to support this session here today. The power symbol, the power of self and that light force within you, the power of love, and the mental emotional symbol, the higher mind, the divine mind, higher self. And it's right here within you. Nothing separate. It's all here, awake within you, speaking to you at all times. And the power of the distance symbol, the connection to the divine, the God self that's right here within. The power of the divine heart. And it beats in the same rhythm as your heart, the same rhythm as the earth, the same rhythm of creation. It's unified all right here within you. And the other symbols that you're attuned to, the master symbols, tree of life, Karuna, Zonar, Halu, and Tar, Inosa, Rama, Yava, Shanti, and Kriya. Compassion, compassionate action. That beautiful ethereal light surrounding you and within you. And the Reiki energy unified within you. You are the Reiki energy. The Reiki energy is you. And so we're here today for this session for Colleen to let go of what no longer serves her. So it's carried into the light of Reiki to bring in. She's ready to bring in this season, in this cycle, whether that's right ahead of her or in a month from now, in a year from now, however that looks. The Reiki energy supports this work. The enlightened ones, the illumined ones support this work. It's that I set my ego and personality aside and am just a conduit for the Reiki energy, for the illumined ones. So we step forward on this beautiful journey together today. Say thank you to those ascended ones that are joining us here today. Thank you. To the teachers who have come before us, descendants that come after. And we say thank you to each other. Circle is always divinely ordered, and we were meant to be here together today. Thank you. And so it is. So when you're ready, Colleen, you can come fully back in and open your eyes.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and move into the interview portion of the session. So I like to write this stuff down, so I'm going to take notes. What would we like to work with today?
Well, I was listening around it in the invocation, which was really nice because it, I could see how scattered my attention is. So what do I want to work on? I guess there's always a long list, and I do know that I can make the list as long as Reiki can handle all of it. But the first thing on the list, I would say, is, as you know, Dad is retiring after 40 years of his business, and he's going to be home every day. And I'm just being authentic. I'm a little bit nervous about that. Our house does accommodate, different spaces, so that part's really nice. But it's a pretty big life transition, and I laugh about him being home, but it really is just about the whole life transition. And I'm not even close to ready to retiring. As you know, I think about this all the time. And of course, I love working with you, which is very motivating. And fortunately, he's pretty self-reliant, and, he'll do his thing, but it's an adjustment. So I guess more than anything, oh, I know what was showing up in the invocation right before we started recording. So I'm talking to everybody else out there too right now, but right before we started the recording, we talked about how aware we are of the words balance, joy, and peace. And that's because that is part of our new website and our new logo. It's Reiki lifestyle, balance, joy, and peace. And so, whenever you make an energetic change like that, it's going to show up. Like, that's a really big claiming of the energies of balance, joy, and peace. And so when I was in the invocation, I was very aware that that's actually what I'm asking for. Because everything else, I could go to specifics, but in the end, I'm taking care of my in-laws, or co-taking care of my in-laws. That's a big one. 95 and 91. And so they're still pretty independent. They live in an independent living circumstance. And close by, my sister-in-law, Missy, is very involved, and my husband, they're his parents. He's very involved. And Robyn, of course, it's grandparents, my son and kids, everything, all of the above. So there's that part of it too, because they are definitely, going through more memory loss things. And so observing, and what do we need to do, and how do we help? And also, how do we still help them be independent? So anyway, that's what I mean by I could make a long list. So I think rather than putting it into a list, I would say that I would like to let go of the places where I'm imbalanced, where I could, like letting go of whatever limitations to joy or to peace or to balance that I have. And again, I could make a long list of limitation, resistance, blocks, injury, all of those things. But so just to make it simple, let go of anything that's in the way of being balanced, feeling joyful. Because I know I have joy inside, so that part, but I'd like the feeling of it, which, I do, but that can always increase. And then the feeling of peace, because I'm in a big life transition. This is, at our age, I think that's the other thing, is I'm realizing I'm this age. It's like, oh, wow. And, Dad's turning 69 in March. I'm 67.
Mhm.
So,
Okay. It's funny because I know you said that you want to bring in balance, peace, and joy, but I am still feeling called to ask the question of what do you want to bring in? Is there anything else that you want to bring in?
I think what I want to bring in, it sounds so cliche at this time of year, but I really do mean it, is health practices. Physical, that's a good way to put that. Physical health practices, mental health practice, all of it, just health practices. And the habits, and that they are filled with joy. Because over the pandemic, I didn't walk like I did before. And I have to get that back. So wanting to, and then the habits of them, because when I was young, they called me walks for a woman. I walked everywhere. We grew up walking, San Diego, we walked everywhere as a kid and teenagers.
Okay.
So yeah, getting the joy of that back, and like the wanting to and the excitement for it. And of course the eating healthy, but I think we always all mean it when we say it. So I do mean it.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
Maybe more humor,
Okay.
laughter, fun. Oh, let's add in childlike wonder, fun with the grandkids. They're such a kick. And I am having a lot of fun with crocheting. I have to say, I'm making such a cute sweater for Ava.
Mm.
It's turning out really good.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. And then we'll just, anything else that you said that is on the long list, we intend it to be included in the session as well.
so much for not making a long list.
Okay.
But it could even be longer. It's like, this,
I'm
this,
sure.
so you go ahead and
You can make it longer. The session, it said, is a for you and about you. So you get to if you want to.
Well, I'm going to just let Reiki read me and do its thing, because, it knows how to do that without me. Because, as you know, a lot of times I don't really even always know what I'm asking for. So there's another piece is that's why Egypt was showing up in the invocation. What are the questions I'm asking that I don't know to ask? What are my questions? And curiosity. That's in the invocation, and Isis really came in. And so, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is we will turn our videos off. You can also be on mute if you would like, but you're also welcome to be unmuted if there's anything that you want to add or anything like that. So we'll do that. And I think that's probably the best way to do this.
I think so. I would rather have the video off.
Yeah, me too. So
and that way I can
relax
and not worry about being on camera.
And then we'll go into the session.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn my video and audio off just for a second to get a drink of water and just kind of, bring myself in, and then we'll go into it. Go ahead and close your eyes again. And just receive. You may have insights come through for you. And let those be what they are. And also, this is a time for you to just be, just receive. not to do. Reiki light is shining all around you. I'm also using my surrogate to give you Reiki. And the angels are here. I'm going to take just a moment. So you state your intentions into the session. Any healing that needs to come through with the Reiki and Illumined ones. Illuminate around this season and this new season of your life and your life with Dad. And his life as well. Showing that as a big part of it too. The mix of course it's in the mix, but it's a bigger piece than maybe even you kind of were aware of for you. And so we cross the bridge of light into the third heaven as we're stating the intentions into the session. Things are already kind of starting to come through. So I also want to make sure to have a little bit of that linear aspect to it. And the ascended masters, call in any guides. The angels are really present. And as we continue to state your intentions into the session of what this cycle, what this transition looks like for you. And it sort of is going beyond even the idea that this is a cycle, because cycles indicate, a changing, shifting out of them. This is a new life phase. And showing the example of kind of going from childhood to adulthood. The seasons of caregiving are seasons, right? They change. There's a beginning and an end to them. And in this transition, it's a new life phase. And with this, It is showing that empathic responsibility that you carry, of the figuring out of it all for him, as well as for you, but it's that additional of figuring it out for him. And it's showing that you are partners. So there's not a release of that idea completely. That's unrealistic. So you are traversing this new phase together. But it is bringing in that balance of it. This, the shouldering of the responsibility, and instead kind of bringing you parallel together, bringing you where you are kind of walking side by side through it. And the dynamic that you have is different than it used to be throughout your life. And so it's going back on the timeline and just gently releasing the places where that dynamic was more imbalanced. And showing that this is also that balance of giving and receiving. That overgiving in the past. That reaching out, reaching forward in the past. That forward versus passive dynamic. And it's like almost releasing kind of the muscle memory of it. Because the it's like it's not that way and anymore. And so it's bringing that into balance within you and within that dynamic here and now into your body. And it's lifting any um, cords is not the right word. It's lifting the muscle memory into the light of Reiki. And within that, it's showing and revealing the muscle memory that's there of joy and fun and playfulness. Because that is there as well. And it's not only empowering that within you, it's empowering it within your house. It's empowering it within him. What are your dreams? That's a question. And it empowers that within the house and brings in this dreamy quality into the house. And are practicalities, of course, but it's a question that is going to be helpful in this. And it's showing that you're concerns isn't quite the right word, but your wonderings about how this is all going to look are valid. And that many have had to navigate of that change. It's, all of a sudden having a roommate in your house, like that's a big change. And that, it's okay that these, the reality of these wonderings are all here. It is showing that boundaries, establishing them, maybe even schedules and, some of those really practical things are going to be helpful in this transition period when you are both figuring this all out. Because it's going to be the same for him too. It's also showing that there is a great opportunity for joy. The release of the stress from work is actually going to really change a lot. And the fun. And it's also showing that the boundaries of when it's work time for you and when it's not, and those kinds of things are going to be helpful so that when you're outside of those time frames, there's kind of more freedom. When it comes to the caregiving, the Reiki energy is just coming in and filling you. It's actually kind of saying like you are doing great. It's a lot to navigate always. There's not anything that's going to really change that. But what is going to be helpful for you is just within that fullness of that life force and vitality that Reiki provides and offers. That every situation is unique and individual, and the but you have experience, and you're stable and kind for everybody in the situation, and you make the choices that are who you'd hoped you'd be. And all of those things that you had learned from caregiving with your mom, with grandma, that is the same in this situation. It is highlighting, however, the Christmas decorations and how much that made a difference for grandpa. There's something in that. Maybe it's like the love language is might be something to do with that kind of little act of kindness and putting up Christmas decorations that then made him joyful. Then that ripple effect, then he randomly bought Christmas presents for people that was joyful. So there's that ripple effect. And it's not saying it's like a requirement or all the time, but it's definitely highlighting that act within all of this, that there is some joy within things like that. And then at the same time, what is going to be essential is just you also making sure that you're filling up with Reiki energy as you kind of support the situation. But it's not really showing, much more than that, because you're on the right track, which I know but it doesn't really have too much more around that. It's filling their space with Reiki energy. And you're doing what you can do, and it's just how much it matters. These small acts of love and kindness. That kindness shining out into the world. So this, I'm going to share this because it feels very, it's so random that, I mean, it has to do with your intention of eating healthy. And it's more just about nourishing your body. But it's actually showing that this might become something for dad. So it's which I say that's random because it never has been. And it's like showing salads for lunch, and it's showing making pasta. So I just I can imagine, I mean, you know how random that is. So it's and like making pasta from, I mean, we're, you know, for the people who are listening to this, or we're gluten free, but you can make very good gluten free pasta from scratch. I'm not going to evaluate it too much. I wonder if it's like a, you know, just a euphemism, but the pasta is like very healthily made with good ingredients, and there's it's like almost like a hobby element to it for him, that is unexpected, for even for him, and that it's there's a maybe a possibility of some of that, those balance, here, okay, the balance in the roles in the house as well. Which I know he's very good at being balanced in the roles in the house. So it's not like that. It's like there's almost an enjoyment of it, a hobby around it. It's a it's potentially also just a metaphor for unexpected changes in this transition. But aside from that, what the Reiki energy is coming in and doing for you and filling you with the life force of the earth, the beingness within your body, within your beingness, that grounded aspect to you being a human being right here on the planet in this time. The miracle of existing. And making small moments, wanting to get outside to see the sparkly water, to smell the dirt in the forest, or the moss on the trees. The flowers blooming in the spring. Symbiosis with the nourishment of the planet. The lettuce fueling your body. Even just sitting out on your back patio. All of that is enough. The movement of the body will come in time. But where are the things that you enjoy? Going to the pond and feeding the ducks. And then in the fashion of this whole session, the balance of potentially having somebody to do it with. Unless you need a boundary there, and that's okay too. So the Reiki light just continues to fill your whole being. Joy is there. The laughter in a funny movie. Small moments that add up to bigger things. And so the angels sing their songs, fill your whole body, your auric field, the light of the earth, the light of the heavens, the light of Reiki, all within you. Never separate. the feeling of joy, act of balance, and the being of peace, all within you and all around you. And so we say thank you to the illumined ones that have joined us here in this session today for Colleen. We're so very grateful. For the Reiki energy, and the teachers who came before us, and the descendants who come after, students who come after. So very grateful. As we come back into the first heaven, this physical realm, we ask that the power of the session carry forward and backward, above and below and within. And so we seal this session with love and light, with light. Thank you. And so it is. And so when you're ready, Colleen, you can come fully back into your body and back into the room and open your eyes.
Oh, put my glasses on. Wow. That was really helpful. I feel like I can see it all more clearly and kind of validating for what I think, how I think it will go. It was surprising to think that Dad might start doing the cooking. Yeah. I actually think that might be true. I can see him doing that. Yeah.
So random, but very insistent that I shared
Well,
that.
he's been just even the last month or so, he's been doing the kitchen every night. I'll go to do the kitchen and he'll say, no, go sit down. I'll do it. Like, okay, sweet. So I could see that happening. He's always been, his mom was such a cook and so into nutrition. So we'll see. So that's a good one. And then I loved the idea when you said feeding the ducks and having somebody to go do that with, because I do that with Luna, but also, and can do it by myself, of course, but yeah, he would do that. And the other part that you brought in about, you said something about what are our dreams? And I really like that because that was something we were always, when we were younger, big dreamers. And, always about like, how do we live these dreams? And so, I would say we have, and well, we really have, but then, definitely losing track of that. I would say,
Well, and they're going to be so different now than when you were in your 20s and 30s. And
Yeah, right. Yeah, they are. And that's what I think is interesting too, because I don't know if we know what they are yet.
yeah, exactly.
So that'll be a good place of discovery. So yeah, it felt really good. And I liked the health part, the idea of, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's part of the whole thing is in the transition of, really like what's the meaning behind it all? Why do I do any of it? I mean, I'm already eat pretty healthy and pretty physically healthy and caretaking and all of the, I mean, personal care and things like that. But yeah, just to enjoy it more. So, and the caregiving, I understand that. I feel true about that, with Ron and Priscilla,
Yeah.
Grandma and Grandpa. Yeah. Or Ronnie. He's always been Ronnie. So, yeah. I mean, I've known them since I was 15. So they're parents. Yeah. I could definitely feel some of the releases occurring. Oh, and I loved the part about the energy in the house.
Yeah.
That felt really true. Like I could really feel the shift in the energy in the house.
Mm.
And in particular, I had even thought I need to do some space clearing in the shower because that's where everybody ruminates, right? So dad ruminating in the shower, me ruminating in the shower, good place to do some clearing. But I felt like this actually did that clearing and the empowerment of the energy.
Well, and I don't think I actually said this. I don't know. I don't really remember or not. Is that it actually showed too that the energy was even, it was like there was still Ruth's energy in the house, like not her specifically, but like it needed to be cleared kind of even back further than just like a normal, and not in a bad way. It's just from the start of that house, it was pretty serious in caregiving, and Ruth is her mom. She was a irreverent, funny person, but there was a kind of, it was more than just like, oh, it needs to be cleared from the last, like whatever, since the last time you cleared it. It actually went back even further than that there was kind of a seriousness to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the bedroom, in our bedroom, because I'm right in the same spot that she always laid in. So sometimes, and of course, it's like I look at myself and I'm like, well, this looks so familiar. But I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. For those of you that don't know, we moved in to this house to take care of my mom, and we thought would be 6 months, and it was 7 years. And then after she passed away, we went ahead and just stayed in the house. So, and she was great, but caregiving somebody for 7 years is a long time. Yeah. And her energy and ours, and yeah, all of the above. So awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it's funny because it ended up kind of so practical, which is nice when you need it. But it did also, I wanted to say one thing that I don't think I said in there, that when you're talking about that dreaminess, it brought in that energy of you guys on the beach in San Diego. Like even kind of that beach spray, the colors, like it was that dreaminess, playfulness that was a part of that part of your life as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big daydreamers. Yeah. We're both Pisces. Sitting around dreaming. Again, for those of you that are listening, my husband and I grew up in San Diego and Encinitas, North County, San Diego, on the beach when it was a small town, just pretty much a paradise, and started dating in high school. And we really had fun. I had a lot of fun, a lot of dreams, and then moved to Oregon, which was one of the big dreams, and raised the kids on a farm, which was, my lifetime dream. And so definitely, a lot of the music from those days that are still playing. So yeah.
Now
Yeah, I feel like that. And what was also you had us let go of, or had me, and I think it went to him because he would, of course, be totally receptive to all this. Again, for those of you listening, he's a Reiki master. He did all the shamanic work with me, so he knows the energy of it all. But yeah, there was a point when you were talking about the old dynamics and went back on the timeline of the old dynamics. And we had one of those happen this morning. And it was so interesting because we're at the point now where we at least recognize it. But we both reacted with that old dynamic. And then we both went, oh, yeah, all right, let's not do that. So that definitely shifted. And I would say that is a shift. And it's of course something that's still going to come up because we have personalities and things like that. But yeah. So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. That was, I was comfortable going into having, Dad receive, because I, of course, knew that he would be okay with it because he receives Reiki and all of that all the time. So
yeah. Does Reiki. And
yeah, exactly. So,
and in fact, we've just this last couple of days, I was going by him in what is now going to be his office. And I looked at him and I said, I think we should do a ceremony welcoming you into this house.
that makes sense.
He's only lived here 10 years.
Yeah, right.
But, it's because I work from here and he leaves every day and comes home, at 6 o'clock at night. It's like, it's my space. And so, and again, for those of you listening, he's a very loud person. He's just loud. He walks loud, he talks loud, he breathes loud. So it's like, okay, I got, and I mean, I am not complaining, trust me. And for anyone listening going, I would be so glad to have that loud in the house. So I do hear that, but it is a transition. And so that's where I was like, we need to do a ceremony and really just have this house and the space and everything really embrace him being here and the fun of it. Because he actually is naturally nurturing and a homebody. So I could see him transferring that from, being in the office to doing that here.
Yeah. And having less stress and all of that.
Less stress would be
and
huge.
The cooking could just be metaphorical, but maybe.
I am counting on it. No, it's not metaphorical. It's real.
Okay.
We're claiming it, man.
Making pasta so random.
Making pasta, yeah.
Oh, that's why I had to say it because I'm like, I mean, that is not, he's very helpful and stuff. So for everybody who's listening, to not, it's not like he doesn't do anything around the house. He does. He's, very helpful in all of that for sure. So but yeah, I could never see him, he likes to barbecue and some things like that, but I could never see him making pasta. So I'm wondering if that's figurative or metaphorical or literal.
We'll see. Yeah, that is pretty funny. I could see him doing that.
I'm alone in my pasta maker. He's gonna be like, "What is this for?" I'm like,
"Well, my pasta maker has Fimo in it."
Yeah, so. The session showed us you're going to be making pasta, so you might as well.
May as well get it. I should just get one for him and say, "Here's the scoop."
Manifest your divine purpose, Dad. Oh, too funny. Too weird. It's so funny.
Oh, too
Sometimes
funny.
You can't make this stuff up,
No.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we better let the listeners go. Thank you, Colleen, so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Reiki, and all the guides and everybody. Thank you. I'm pretty altered, actually.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much,
All right.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye now.
So to find more about our Next Step classes and explore the 12 Heavens class, which is a whole kind of different curriculum, you can go to reikilifestyle.com. Let me show you where to find more information about them. So as Colleen said, and we won't go too far into this because we have lots of content out there already about what they are, and you can watch videos on them and everything else. If you go to reikilifestyle.com, you can go to the ongoing training tab, and we have Next Step Reiki, which is where we learn how to do sessions. Level 1, there are 3 one-year programs, as Colleen said. So there's a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. And that is under Next Step Reiki. And then we also have Explore the 12 Heavens, which is more just we are using Reiki journey techniques to go deep into exploration of the 12 levels of consciousness. And so you can learn more about that in the ongoing training tab too. And then maybe you're unsure which one, you would like to take. And so we have even a video about each one and which one you might be called to. So classes for that start January 17th and January 18th. Registration is open until January 14th. So you still have, a week or so to register for one of those classes. Again, the session like we are doing today is what you learn in Next Step Reiki in level 2 and level 3 is the Spirit Revel Technique, and then channeling it out loud. Level 1 is Reiki Journey Techniques. And if you have any questions about any of it, just email us, Colleen at reikilifestyle.com or Robyn at reikilifestyle.com. All right. Thank you.